Hey YouTube. Today's video is about Smile 2 because I saw that movie like 2 weeks ago and bro, I have so many freaking questions about that movie because there's so many plot holes and a lot of it is just like, oh, she was hallucinating. Come on, let's be real. It's a good movie, okay? Probably one of the most stressful movies I've ever watched in my life, but there's still some questions I have yet to answer. So I'm just gonna make them right here, and I'm gonna leave the comments open on this one because I need to know, and I know there's gonna be some people who are gonna be like, "Oh, I know," so I'm just gonna leave them open. Okay, if you've noticed, in all of her hallucinations, she just kind of like, hold on. Okay, so let's say like a smile clone or whatever is like right here, and they're like smiling and stuff, and she's just here like this, like. Oh no! No! Like, what are you doing? Okay, I'm sorry. You gotta run. You don't just like, dang it, no! Get away from me! And especially in that last scene where she's on stage in front of all of her fans. Oh yeah, by the way, spoiler alert for this whole video. On stage with all of her fans, and she's just like this giant like evil. So she rips open his stomach like the fake clone or whatever, and then this giant like flesh thing comes out, and then she's just like instead of running, she just stands right there and looks up, and she's just like, no, 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 dang it, like bro, run, what the fuck. I'm thinking that it's like a lucid dream almost, like where she can't run, like she's stuck in place. But obviously she fucking isn't because in the freezer she was running around. She fucking stabbed it. She stabbed the hallucination. So she's just standing still for the sake of wanting to die. I don't like. What do you? Okay, number two. We never got an explanation for why her dressing room was trashed. It just was. What? I think we're left to assume that it's the hallucination who did that, right? Like they were like use their hallucination powers to like trash her room. But isn't it all in her head though? Because they say in the movie multiple times, and even in the first one, they're all like, "Oh, it's a psychological disease." So then why? How did she physically get her room trashed? Another theory I have is maybe that she did it herself and she just doesn't remember. But also, there's like 50 people in the hallway and it was her rehearsing day. So how the heck does nobody else here just like, like how does that not happen? Another thing is the entity like a real thing or is it all in her head? Okay, alright, okay, yes, the entity's in her head. But just hear me. The one scene where she was like taking photos with fans and one of the fans was just smiling and then it tried to like attack her and then he got pulled away by guards. That everyone was scared for her. The guy was smiling at her unless for some reason the guy was just like not like at all associated with this. It was just a creepo. Why else would he be smiling? Why else would he be trying to attack her? What the I think I'm stupid. Now I feel like insecure about this because I feel like everybody else gets it because I looked up Smile 2 and everyone's like, "It's such a great movie," and then I looked up Smile 2 plot holes. Not a single video on that subject. So now I feel like I'm just wrong. But I just like come on, you gotta think about like I'm thinking about this like from my perspective, and my perspective might be flawed, but and just I'm just saying like how is it like in a physical thing when it's all in her head? And there's no way that that fan got pulled away in her head. There was her family and people were. It's implied that it wasn't, unless this whole movie is implied that it's all in her head. That's a theory I saw online actually. I looked up Smile 2 plot holes and someone was like, "Oh, it was all in her head from the very when the guy very first killed himself to like the very end, and then she was on stage, and that whole time she was just performing like normal, and that was just in her head." But it's also like that doesn't sound right. By the way, I'm not talking about the little girl. I'm talking about the full grown like 25 like 20-year-old dude. You watch the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's two of them. There's two weird fans, and one of them's like a dude, and one of them's a little girl. And the little girl one is definitely an illusion because everyone just treats it like normal, and she just goes back to her mom. But the little girl, everyone's like, or the dude, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" Like that's real. Can we explain that, please? And I feel like I'm coming off like I'm trying to like like say this movie's bad. It wasn't a bad movie. I think it was actually a really good movie. If dude, this camera sucks. I think it was a really good movie. I think that the cast was good, the storyline was good. I thought that how it presented itself was pretty good. The monsters were scary. I was like that ending scene where she like ripped open her stomach. I was like looking away, you know. And it's a good movie. It's just some of it I don't understand. And for a while, I was gonna put that one part where it was like, hold on, where like she escaped from the hospital after killing her mom, and then she, with consent, she went to euthanize herself to get rid of the monster, right? And then get sent back to life, rehabilitated. And then that whole part was fake, apparently. And I that just hit me now. Like I was like, oh, it was on her head that whole time. But then they just put her on stage. They just put her on stage. If she was, every single time that she's like freaking out like that, she's always like in the room, like, but like then they just for that whole time they just put her on stage while she was acting like that because of the tour. I I don't know. Some of these things in this movie I just don't know. And I'm okay with that. I think I'll live, but I'm just confused. I'm making this video hoping that some comments or something will explain what's going on in this movie. Um, that's really all I have to say today. Sorry I haven't posted in a month. School sucks, and I'm just trying to just not fall behind, really. And that's really all I have to say.